So hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm at cross country and this is the Northeasterns and I'm in Steward Park in Middlesbrough. Never ran this before, never been to this park before. It's currently 20:12 and the senior men go off at 1:15, so I've got just under an hour to get warmed up, check out the course a little bit. It's thick grass, but the course over there looks more it's been trodden in a bit, so it's not too bad. It's not as thick as this, but it'll be, I think I'll try the spikes. I've never ran in them before. Well, I've had a little trial in them and it didn't go too well, but this doesn't look muddy at all, so might be absolutely fine. Oop, try and make sure my number doesn't get out of my pocket because I get disqualified or it costs me money. The men do 3 full laps of this course and a medium-sized lap. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but it looks like there's a lot of up and downs, and I think we skip one of them for the first lap, and then after that it'll be 3 full laps. If you've watched any of my videos, you'll know that I normally take the first lap easy of the 3 we do in the Harrier League, and then try and pick it up on the last 2. So I think today, let's start with a medium lap. I'll take that easy. We'll then go into a full lap, which is obviously going to be shorter than the laps we do with the Harrier League. But I think I'll try and take it easy for both of them and then try and pick it up for the last 2 laps. I think it's a total of 11k for the men. We actually go off before the women today. Normally the women go off after us. I'm not allowed to film any point of view footage. I did email the race organisers, and the referees said that you know, I'm not allowed to because of UK rules, which I've recently actually seen a lot of that on YouTube. Thankfully the Harrier League haven't said anything to me yet. I did ask for permission, and Vicky Thompson, the secretary, she said that it would be fine, but obviously if the referees asked or questioned it, just to, you know, give her name and say that it's, you know, I've been all right for it. But I haven't had any issues from the referees yet, thankfully, and hopefully that stays the same. Yeah, sorry, the women are just coming around there now. Oh, under 17 girls, I think, maybe. Not sure. Under 21s? Yeah, I don't know. Lass is running around anyway, giving it some beans. The only bit of hill that I can tell, I haven't seen the whole course, is this bit behind me, which you can see them running up there now. And that's it. And I mean, it's not really that much of a hill, is it? Compared to normal. It's not that bad. Looks alright, to be fair. Let's see, it's grassy, it's not that muddy. Looks like more one of the ones you watch on TV when you see cross country, and it's like the pros, but they're not even running through mud, and they've got like fake little hurdles and stuff. Like, that's not cross country. Reckoned last week, well, a couple of weeks ago, was cross country, but this looks fairly tame as well. It's obviously longer. It's 11k, which is a bit of a pain in the arse, but it just means I'm going to have to just judge my effort a bit differently, which is obviously not what I need when your brain doesn't work too well anyway. Yeah, so I'm going to get warmed up. Obviously, like I say, can't capture any footage, so it'll just be me telling you how the run went afterwards. Hopefully I can do a good job. There'll be a lot of people running, I think, and yeah, we'll see how we get on, and I'll let you know, I guess. So hi everyone, just got back from cross country, had a shower, had some food, wore my spikes for the whole race. They were absolutely fine, apart from there was a few little occasions where I got a bit of a sore left ankle, but other than that, absolutely fine. Ran the whole thing. I was 11k or just under 11k, 10.8k in total, according to Strava. Ran the whole thing, so the spikes were absolutely fine. I have no idea what length spikes are in, but that's something I need to do actually. I need to buy some spare spikes and a key, because I didn't get a key with them. So I need to buy some individual spikes for different conditions and stuff. But the course itself was pretty tricky actually. But the spikes were absolutely fine. There was some bits of it that were like ankle deep mud by the 4th lap, by the time the men had went round. To start off with, it was actually quite okay. It was like muddy, mostly grass, but not too bad. But by the 4th lap, there was some of the corners and some of the lower bits towards the bottom of the hills were really stodgy, like I say, ankle deep, really thick mud, and they were taking some effort to get through. The course was actually pretty tough. I mean, I was saying at the start that it didn't look too bad, but you were it either felt like you were running uphill constantly or running flat. So those ups and downs, every time you were running down, you were running slightly downhill, and then you were going like coming back on yourself and running back up it. And we were doing that like 4 times every lap. So the elevation on the total 11k ended up being about 99 meters in climbing, and that's, you know, looking at the course from where I was stood at the start, that didn't look that bad. It didn't look hilly at all. But 99 meters, that's quite a lot. Stewart Bay is 11 meters shorter than that, and I've got notes here because I can't remember. And Reckendon is 16 meters long, is higher elevation than that, but that's like 2k longer than both of those. So although it didn't look hilly, there was some hills. I mean, it was 100 meters in 11k, which isn't really a lot, but it's you know, it's in comparative, it's more than Druidge. And Druidge fell harder, but obviously it was longer. As I say, the spikes were really good all the way around. Didn't have any problems with them. I'll definitely wear them again in those kind of conditions. Probably have to, like I said, buy some more spikes, some spares, and get a key because I don't have it. But other than that, it was fairly decent. One thing I did actually do stupidly was I forgot to wear shorts. So normally what I do is I put all my kit on, apart from me singlet. I put it all on. I put like joggy pants over the top. But in the morning, I think I wanted to get down to help my wife with the little one as quick as I could, and I just forgot to put shorts on. And then obviously my memory's terrible, so I just completely forgot about going back up and sorting that out. But luckily, because the race is sponsored by Star Fitness, I managed to pop to the stall they had up there and just grab a pair for like a tenner. And that's why I'm wearing green shorts, which I wouldn't normally wear green shorts, obviously. I mean, it doesn't matter anyway. But yeah, picked up some shorts. They were absolutely fine. They had medium in size in stock, which was really good because it was mostly like stuff that looked like it was running out of stock, or like they were just trying to get rid of it. But I forgot shorts, absolute nightmare. I was getting ready, getting me everything sorted, pulled my pants down. I'm like, oh, I'm wearing like joggies, boxer shorts. And I did think for a second, like, will I get away with wearing these boxer shorts and running around? And then I was like, I can't do that. That's absolutely mental. Like, why would I do that? This race was the first time since coming back to racing or doing any kind of training where I've really pushed myself and actually tried to race against other people. You'll probably see my other videos when I've been racing, like on the sprint finishes. Have I caught any sprint finishes? Stewart Bay, I'd got the sprint finish, but the terrain was so bad, it was like bobbly, I couldn't run on it anyway. And I just haven't sprint finished anyone. I haven't tried to keep up with them. And I've always had the mindset of like, you know, I'm not really racing. I'm out there for myself to get back to fitness. And I don't really care about competing against other people. I'm literally just, you know, there's not many other people on the course that's got brain cancer, and that's what I tell myself. So I think, you know what I mean? I'm not competing. I don't really care. But today was the first time where I was on the last lap, and I was running behind 2 guys, and I was like give myself a bit of a talk and do, and I was like, right, let's stay with these for no other reason than just to, you know, I felt good on the day. I did actually manage to stick to the tactics that I said in the start. I went out easy on the first lap. And Tony was ahead of us, and I was just trying to maintain that gap between me and Tony. He was a good 100 meters ahead of us or something, and I was just trying to maintain the gap, but I could see him on the switchbacks. So obviously we're running down the hill, turn, and then like going around a corner and coming back, and we did that like a good few times on every lap. So I was constantly trying to like mark where Tony was and trying to be at the same position. I didn't. He just kept going and going and going on every lap. He was managing to pick it up, but I was looking at me watch. And I was just saying, like, you know, maintain this pace and yeah, I would be absolutely fine. And it worked out really well. So I managed to stick with the 2 lads at the end. My pace throughout the whole thing was 5-minute kilometres. Pretty much average the whole way through. And I was just trying to maintain that. But these 2 lads in front of us, I was like, right, stick with these 2 lads, fight them. They were older than me, obviously. I picked them off before the end. Because one of them went left through some thick ass mud, some really thick mud, and I stuck behind one of them. And then there was a corner coming up, and I wanted to get in front of them before the corner, so I had the inside line, which would have made it harder for them to come back at us. I did that. I overtook them, got one of them in the thick mud, went for the next one, got in front of them on the corner, and then I just kept the pace. One of them was coming back at us on the finish line, but again, this is the first time I've ever raced and like wanted to keep people behind us and chase people, and I was just like, mate, you're not having it. And I could hear him coming, I could see the shadow because the sun was behind us, and I just put my foot down, and he didn't get us, so that's nice. And that, like I said, that's the first time I've ever raced since coming back, so you know, it felt good. It did. I mean, I was finished. Where did I finish? I finished in 225 place out of 271. So I'm still like massively towards the back, but this is the Northeastern, so it's much more competitive than what the Harrier League is normally. And I thought that running around, actually, like I was looking behind us, and there weren't a lot of men behind us, I could tell, like on the switchbacks. And there weren't a lot of the like, I don't want to be horrible, but in Harrier League, there's a lot of bigger lads out there. Like they'll just like, you know, you're much more casual runners, I would say, which is probably harsh to say to them because they're running bloody cross country and they're putting their effort in. But it just felt like at the Northeasterns, and the same with the Northerns I ran a few years ago when I was a bit fitter, there's just less of your more casual lads just plodding around. They obviously are still there, but there's just less of them. So to finish 225th out of 271 on a much more competitive field than the Harrier League, like I'm chuffed with that. Obviously there is no footage. There's a few photos, and I'll hide them on the screen. Because I wasn't allowed to video anything. And there was actually when the men went off, there was no lasses from the poly. I think they were turning up after us because obviously they were running after us. So I never saw anyone to be able to give them my camera to record footage for us. And that's fine, absolutely fine. Probably makes the video less interesting, but you know, we'll get through that. So yeah, my spikes were all right. First time racing properly, did well, really well. Course was still a lot tougher than I thought it was going to be. I was doing the same thing as like Reckoning and Druridge, where like you get to the top of the hills, and even though they weren't hills, like I was getting to the top of them and I could feel me quads were burning. So I was trying to like maintain my pace along the flats and just keep it honest. Try and keep myself pushing, and it worked out really, really well again. Took the first lap really slow. I was miles behind. Felt like I was getting, like Tony gapped us massively, and obviously I did better than, well, I did better. I finished ahead of Tony in Reckenden, which is arguably a tougher course because the hills there are like short, sharp and steep, whereas this was just gradual long hills with nice flats afterwards, so you could like pick up the pace on the flats. Well, most people could pick up the fades. I was just trying to maintain. So my finish time for that race was 54:05 for the 11k. And that's like I said, bang on 5 minute kilometers. My next races in January, I've got Leamington Cross Country, which is Harrier League, on Sunday the 18th. We've then got Pontefract, which is the north of England, which is the Northerns, on the 24th. So that's the Saturday after. And then we've got Steward Park, which is the Sherman Cup the week after that. So like I said, back to back to back. There's 3 cross countries in a row. It's Steward Park Cross Country, which is the Sherman Davison Cup. So I think the Sherman Cup is for the men and the Davison Cup is for the women, or the other way around. Can't bloody remember. Obviously my memory's terrible. But yeah, so I had a really good run the day. Managed to pace it really well. Really enjoyed it. It was a good course. And like I said, it looked tougher. It was tougher than it looked. It turned up really badly, so I think the women would have had a pretty much tougher time than what we would. And normally that's the other way around. Normally we're the ones struggling through the mud with, you know, because obviously you've got all the kids go out before us, and then you've got, you know, the women on before us, and then we have to trod through. And obviously the more people that trod through the mud, the worse it gets. So it was nice to be ahead of the women. Obviously Leamington will be back to the Harrier League, so I'll be able to get some point of view footage. Northerns definitely won't be able to. Sherman Cup I think I will be as well. I'll be able to capture some more footage. So yeah, and then obviously I've got the Grand Prix as well before that at the beginning of January, and I'll just try and get as much training in. Obviously it's Christmas, loads of stuff to do, so I'm not sure if I'll have any more videos out before Christmas, will I? Yeah, I probably will, so yeah. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for checking out the cross country again. Apologies I couldn't get any footage, but I don't want to get disqualified. And yeah, look after yourselves. Thanks so much, guys.